How doing guys, SmartEntity here. Today we're going to do a complete walkthrough on the newest quest, the Silver Groove. Groovy! Alrighty, so just jumping right into it, we'll talk about the details as we proceed, but to begin this quest you'll need to talk to the head lady in the new local department in any relay. Once you do that, exit the relay and begin your quest in your codex. Now, this is a herb collection quest, there's multiple recipes, and there's multiple herbs you need to collect for each recipe. For the first recipe, the Nightfall Apothic, you need to collect the Moonlight Dragonlilies, which can be found on Earth during nighttime. I recommend a capture mission like Mantle. For the second ingredient, which is the Dusklight Sarracenia, you can collect that on Ceres, on any map, but I recommend going to Lith, which is a capture mission. Again, very fast mission. You go in there, collect your herb, get out. And I'll show you guys on screen what the Dusklight Sarracenia looks like, because that is not a herb that we have encountered. So there we go. And for the final herb, it is the Sunlight Threshcones, which you find during daytime on Earth. Again, any map, but I recommend Mantle. Other than that, you go into Foundry, you create the Nightfall Apothic. It is just 1 minute, but we'll use internet magic to power through that. Once you do that, you will need to go onto a Earth map, which is E Prime, I believe. Now, before you do that, just make sure you equip the Nightfall Apothic. If you do not, you will not be able to enter that mission in quest mode. Now, this particular mission, or quest if you like, is quite new to Warframe. It is a herb collection quest, not unlike what you see in most MMORPGs. Now, I do recommend to the refs not to make this again. The first time is unique, it's fine, but if you do this multiple times, it could get very grindy, very boring. Now, on E Prime, you need to look for this particular tile area, which is what the shrine is. Once you see it, you need to insert your Nightfall Apothic. Once you do that, you get a bit of dialogue here and there. Now, this is a very lengthy dialogue and text-based mission or quest. So once you wait for all the dialogue, hopefully you don't die like I do. I have no idea what happened, I just pretty much died. But you need to basically kill these spectre-like enemies. And once you kill them, you can exit the map. Now obviously I'll show you guys all the texts on the video. If you do want to read, just pause the video. But otherwise, we're just going to power through it. Now once you complete that mission, you get the Titania system blueprint. In addition, you get a new recipe. Now for this new recipe, again, you got multiple herbs to collect. The first one we're showing on there is the Moonlight Jadeleaf, which you collect on Earth. The second one that we're showing here is the Rock's Claw, which you can collect on Mars. I recommend, again, doing capture missions. And for the final ingredient on the second recipe, on the Twilight Apothic, is the Lunar Pitcher, which you can collect on Lua, i.e. the moon. Now once you finish all that, you create the Twilight Apothic in your foundry. Again, 1 minute, we'll use internet magic to power through that. And once we do that, we need to return to E Prime on Earth and go to the same shrine again, not like the Inaros quest. You keep on going back to the shrine, we put in the Twilight Apothic, we wait for a bit of dialogue, and we get a new enemy. So you kill the Spectre. Now, I gotta admit, I'm not trying to do this, but for some reason, every time I go into it, I just die. And yes, you can scan it. I didn't do this first time, but you can scan this. So once you do that, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal with that is, okay? But hey, we got 4 revives, it's all good. So once you do that, you extract, and once you extract, you get the next recipe, which is the Sunrise Apothic. In addition, of course, you get your Titania Chassis Blueprint. Now for the next recipe, you have to collect the Sunlight Jadeleaf, which again you collect on Earth during daytime. You can do this on a, again, Mantle capture mission. Secondly, you need to collect Vestan moss on either Mercury, Phobos, Saturn, Uranus, or Sedna. I have Sedna here, again, picture of the moss on screen. And after that, you need to collect the Frostleaf, which you can find on either Venus, Neptune, Pluto. Now this is a very interesting one, because for the moth, it's almost very consistent. They show up map after map on the same area. For this one, you go through maps where they don't show, and then you go to a map where the Frostleaf shows everywhere, as seen on screen. So there's a bit of randomness to Warframe, very welcome to see. So after you do all that, you need to go to your foundry again and create your Sunrise Apothic. Now we're gonna use internet magic to skip this 1 minute again. Pretty simple. So after that, again, make sure you equip it into your gear, otherwise you can't enter E Prime in quest mode.
This can never get out. I'm done here. If the Griller want to destroy Grove, let them.
Now, once you do that, obviously you go back to E Prime on Earth. Now, I know I've literally rushed through the walkthrough because some people have been saying, you know, just give us what information we need. So that's what I've done. Now, other people, of course, have said, you know, want a bit of background. So we're going to talk about the background right now. That majority of the walkthrough have been powered through. So basically, it's pretty simple. This quest is to get the Warframe Titania with the latest update, major update anyway. And as far as background goes, so the new local, they're a bit of a tree hugger, if you like. They're trying to basically save all these trees, this environment on Earth, and they've pretty much recruited you. Now, through doing these quests, they've pretty much found out this entity on Earth is not very pure, and at one point, i.e. now, they're kind of calling it a bit of an abomination. Now, this entity, which is transferred onto, I guess, the Earth essence, if you like, is the entity that once upon a time created Titania, and they expected that your fighters are actually guardians of Titania. Now, this entity that created Titania is Sylvana, and she at one point actually disliked Titania because she is a healer and she didn't want to create a war machine like Titania. But towards the end, she really appreciated Titania because Titania used her last fighting breath to save her. So we're getting a bit of a deja vu here, not unlike Inaros, which saved, you know, the village of Barakatir. So towards this last mission, again, you kill the Spectre. Now, at this point, I thought the mission was over. I was going to run away. But apparently, we have a bit of a mobile defense here, so you stay for about 1 minute 45 seconds, defend this location. Pretty simple. After that, you can extract. Now, there's a lot of dialogues again in this particular mission, so I hope I haven't bored you guys too much and skipped through most of it. Now again, normally I would find this kind of herb collection thing extremely annoying, and despite, you know, me going through this video in less than 10 minutes, having shown you guys everything, it did, well, you know, honestly a few hours to collect everything. One of the things is you obviously have to wait for the Earth day-night cycles to collect the different Moonlight or Sunlight ingredients, and obviously that's 4-hour cycles. But since it's the first time that we've actually seen, I mean, obviously there was a previous, I think it's the, can't remember what it's called, but obviously it was a previous event slash alert or whatever you want to call it. We did have to collect antitoxins, so that was a bit of herb collection as well. But this one, we have herb collection throughout the entire solar system, if you like, so that does make it quite interesting. But again, I do not want to see this again in the near future because it is boring. It's a unique case, fine, it's interesting, but if they do it too many times, they just make Warframe way too grindy. So after all that, you get a bit more of the lore and then you can extract. Now, things with this particular quest that I would prefer to have seen improvements on would be more unique enemies. I mean, the Spectres were a good touch, but the act in a way like Stalkers. I mean, you could see the first 2 times I literally just died without even knowing what's going on, and Z died being one-shotted. What I would have liked to see is enemies that could take a few hits and, you know, not just one hit KO you, which is at this stage the only kind of difficulty we can see in this game. So after you do that, you get the neural optics of Titania, and you get a bit of a thank you from the new Loka, and at this point she's like, you know what, okay, so Sylvana was pretty much not really an abomination, you know, she had her good essences, and new Loka needs to change for the betterment of the Earth environment and for the restoration of Earth and yada yada yada. So that's all pretty good. Now, after this, that's pretty much the completion of the quest. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers!